Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest and ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's Southern player and then going kind of zigzagging around their lineup. We have in Batman Gray, it is Dr. Fuzzy. He is a Cybran for this match. He is a 1200. To his north, we have in Orange Together Orange Mutso. He is a Cybran as well as an 1100. And next door to him, it is Carlos PT. He is another Cybran for Team 1 in Regal Purple as a 1300. To his northeast, we have in Imperial Gray. Breaking the mold here so far, it is Azuros. He is a UEF for this match as a 2100. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game. Overall, in the northwestern corner of the map here in the regular slot here, it is Hatsi. He is a Seraphim for this match in Chevy Crimson as a 1700. I'm rounding out Team 1's lineup in Light Oak Tan is another UEF. It is Krazi. He is a UEF for this match as a 1500. So for Team 1's side of the map, they have 3 Cybrans, 2 UEF, and 1 Seraphim. No Aeon for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Northeastern player, then kind of zigzagging around the lineup as well. We have in Barbie Pink, Team 2's Randy Savage. It's been a while since I've casted him. He is a 1000 rated player. He is a Seraphim for this match. To his southwest, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, Dart Sand. He is another Seraphim for Team 2 as a 1300. In Forest Green, next door to him, it is Hyper 2001. He is, I believe, the one and only Aeon of the match as a 1400. In Amethyst Purple in the middle here for Team 2, it is Note. He is a Seraphim. He is a 2000 rated player. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. In the rear guard slot here for Team 2 in the southeastern corner of the map, it is Rye Guys. He is in Ruby Red as a 1400. And rounding out Team 2's lineup to the west of him, we have in Snow White another Cybran. It is Sano Man. He is a 1600. So for Team 2's side of the map, overall they have 2 Cybrans in the back with 3 Seraphim and 1 Aeon. Team 2 lacks the UEF faction. Team 1 lacks the Aeon faction. And for these 12 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation currently sitting at. That is the wrong button. Apologies for that. It is 8,500 mass remaining on the map. Not a terrible amount. Nothing really to write home about. But it's still less than 1,000 mass. Probably sitting around the 700-ish range. So again, nothing too crazy. Nothing too bad, though. It's not 0. But there is a large clump of mass in the northeast and the southwest. So there is definitely some pockets to go after. But pretty much it's just kind of one-off rocks and that sort of thing. The mechs count here for Team 1 side of the map. There is a quad mechs position where Krazi currently is posted up with an Azuros grabbing this position. I was going to say Imperial position, but Azuros grabbing that other quad mechs over there on that northern side. A couple of Team 1 bombers roaming around, and then there is another Trimex in the west for Dr. Fuzzy. And pretty much that's all of the mechs. There really isn't a lot to go around, especially in the back line for the rear guard air slot players. They're going to be really strapped for cash as it would be in this game, so they're definitely going to probably lean towards assistance in air. It's most likely going to be a 2 air player teams situation, so we'll see who ends up going into the air department. We do see in the northeast it's going to be 3v2. Oh, actually, sorry. We do see Krazi is in the middle of his mexes there. So it is a 3v3 in the northeast, which means the remaining players in the game should head in the southwest, which it looks like it's pretty much headed that way. 3 players over here for Team 1, and then 3 players here for Team 2. The middle of the map does have a nice little section that is lower than everything else on the map, but there's no mexes here. It makes it a little bit annoying to obviously go straight down the middle to your opponent's side of the, or the other side of the map, but I don't really see anybody really going in the middle. I mean, as I speak, we do see Rye Guys putting a nice little engineer there, but it looks like he's going to build a radar situation station there, and that's probably it. But it can be easily taken out by pretty much anything. So it's nice intel gathering position, but besides that, nothing of strategic value. at all. If it was a higher section of the map, that might be a different story, but being a lower section of the map, it's not as great. So we do see in the East, players are spreading out. It's going to be not, again, a 1v1, 1v1, 1v1 scenario, but going to be, a little bit more spread out than it is kind of condensed over here to the west a little bit. We do see lots of gun upgrades started. T2 air facilities done. Krazy is going for his gun now. So everybody getting into the calm, battling one another stage. Azuros on an upgrade. Hatsi possibly going to shortly follow him. We see Darth Sam pushing him with his gun upgrade, trying to stop Azuros. We do see Randy Savage going for his gun upgrade, and Hyper 2001 hasn't gone for anything as of yet. First calm on come action has not occurred. Azuros barely out of range of Darth Sam's gun. In the southwest, we see Mutzo pushing in to Sanoman's position, who's going for his gun. We do see Rygaz sitting in the middle of some wall sections soon to be established by Note to confuse the pathfinding for Team 1's forces. But it does look like Team 1 has fallen back just a little bit, giving Team 2 a little bit more breathing room. But again, in the calm battle situation, especially with mexes, there's really nothing to go after. I mean, yeah, they grabbed one mex, but one mex isn't really going to make the difference. There's just a lot of energy being sent to Sanoman there. We do see gun is done for Sanoman and for Randy Savage. So Team 2 getting those guns online sooner rather than later. Mutzo is the first recipient of calm damage in terms of from another calm. But at the same time, we do see Team 2's southern flank being completely just ripped apart. We do see forces coming inbound to assist, but there's still a lot more here for Team 1's Dr. Fuzzy. So he's pushing in. He may be able to get into the main base. For Sanoman, maybe. He has an air and land facility, so probably spamming up bombers to assist. But he is going to lose probably a decent amount of stuff. There is a T1 PD emplacement here, so that will help thin the numbers out a little bit. We do see they're shifting northward. That should buy Sanoman enough time to deal with that force. We do see in the west, Carlos is pushing in against Sanoman. Sanoman has dropped into the mid-ish yellows. And we see some land facilities established to try to break the pathfinding logic, not pathfinding logic, but the pathfinding, I guess, for Team 1's comms. We do see that Dr. Fuzzy pushing him with a T2, Carlos with a gun upgrade. Again, Rygaz is also a Cybern. He does not have gun. We're trying to shield his teammate of Dr. Fuzzy, who is dropping below 25% hit points, so he's going to be very careful. In the east, similar situation. It is Darth Sand and Randy Savage going after Team 1's Hatsi and Krazy. Krazy has gun, nano, and drone. Hatsi has nothing on board. So not really looking good here for Team 1 on this eastern side. Gun started here for Azuros, most likely going for T2 or nano. It's going for T2, so a little bit boost in hit points there. Still nobody has died, though. A couple comms kind of close to death, but nobody's actually kicked the bucket yet, so that's good to see. Maybe we'll get to a 20-minute mark of nobody dying. Maybe, maybe not. We do see in the east guns still being shot at one another between Krazy and Randy. And again, it's a 3v2 in favor of Team 1, with Darsand has shield, advanced range, and speed on board. So he has Aeon Sniper Commander semi-tank. He doesn't have the full tank because he doesn't have the heavy shield upgrade. But, having that advanced range upgrade, he's the only one in the game who has that. That's going to have a huge advantage in terms of what he can shoot at versus what everybody else can shoot at in this game. Even stuff that his teammates can't shoot at. Team 1 again slowly pushing with some T2 PD, some tickle cannons over there. But in the east, Krazy is probably going to be the recipient of most of this damage. Again, Azuros has T2 and gun. Krazy has T2 nano. Sorry, not T2, gun, nano, and drone. So he's going to be a little bit more beefier in terms of longevity. But in terms of raw hit points, he's actually barely leading Azuros. If Azuros got some veterancy, Azuros would be winning that fight. Now we see Hyper 2001 going after Krazy's comm. Again, that advanced range really paying some dividends, keeping that comm below the green. We do see Hatsi on an upgrade. Looks like he's going for, center upgrade. So possibly missile on board that comm or nano. Yeah, because it is or regens on his left arm or right arm if we're looking at him. Hyper 2001 now going after Azuros. He's dropping, and again, he can't rep up like his teammate of Crosby, so he has to be very, very careful how much damage he takes. And again, Team 2 slowly just inching into that northern side. In the southwest, another attack occurs. Sanoman and Note just dealing with those Team 1 forces, giving Carlos a little bit more pushing in power. Takes out the quad mech position for Sanoman, but nothing really of note in terms of getting into deep Team 2 territory. Large group of T2 units inbound for a Note, going around the middle of the map and ignoring where all the comms are. There's really nothing here to stop this push. There's a lot of Team 1 units. That Team 1 PD got annihilated, so no real help there. I mean, granted, we were facing some Team 1 artillery and T2 tanks, so not going to be super, super great one way or the other. T3 air is done for Team 2 and for Team 1. We don't see any secondary air players as of yet. Splash started for Darth Sans comm, so we might be going for some comm sniping here. He has Nano on board. We do see some PD now online for Azuros, targeting Darth Sans comm. He's repping up 76 hit points a second. He has to cancel his splash. Hyper 2001 is going to be the recipient of some of that damage. And Azuros is falling into the mid yellows. He will take out the PD emplacement with a nice little overcharge here shortly, I would surmise. Overcharge actually goes after one of the tanks, but this is a lot of T2 tanks. The shield is down. Aeons cannot get Nano, and Cybrans have to get it after a upgrade into stealth, so he's going to be kind of in a rough spot. That's why it's nice to get that 25,000 hit points. But this attack, still not bound from Note, just pushing ever far forward into Team 1's main bases. This mech's almost done with a T3 upgrade that would be devastating to lose. Oh, it's going to be close, but it does not finish. And that is a denied T3 mechs at that point, being 90+% finished. T3 land upgrade has been started here by Sanoman's comm, so trying to get more of a mobile front line going. We do see some tickle cannons again going after Sanoman's comm. He has 2-star veterancy and stealth on board, so soon Nano will be done and he'll be back up into green here shortly. No, T3 mech says no. Yeah, that was definitely not great here. We do see some counter Team 1 units in the mix here for... Who is that? That is Carlos. Another mechs or two are down. Looks like Note just sent them into the corner of the map. A couple of the gunships overhead. Team 1 and T2. Both for... Looks like those are Hotseas and Mutsos. Still Yenzine pushing in. That's another T2 mech that's going to go down here shortly. And really Carlos is going to be feeling the pain in the wallet here for a decent portion of the mid-game. 15 minutes on the clock here. In the eastern side here, Team 2 being pushed back once again. Darsan going for an upgrade once again. Hatsi pushing in with gun, splash, and nano. He's probably going to get the first kill of the game here. 700 hit points per shot, and there he goes. Team 2's comms suffer a nice little AoE splash there, and Randy Savage dropping. Ooh, he's going to be killed off here too. One more shot. There he goes. And all of those forces that were nearby here for Team 2 get eradicated. So double kill here for Hatsi. Going for that gun splash. Ooh, that's got to hurt. But Team 2 maybe... I was going to say, made a comment about, hey, Note, 2 bases, says Hatsi. And it looks like at least one of them is going to go to Note. One of them looks like it goes to Hyper 2001. So I feel like Hyper 2001 should have gotten the eastern edge, and then Note should have gotten this base right here, but that's just my opinion. Make more units against my splash. He's kind of taunting a little bit, just provoking his opponent. Nothing too worrisome, nothing too bad. Gunships inbound for Hyper 2001's comm. Not annoying, but there are some interceptors nearby that will help dealing with the annoyance for Hyper 2001. Team 2 might not necessarily lose their third comm over here for Hyper, but they're probably going to lose this third base. If Team 1's combined comms over here push in, that probably will be a win over there on that eastern side, putting Team 1 firmly in control of the entire northern side. And in the southwest, another attack in terms of a run-by trying to occur. There are 2 comms moving in with a PD or 2 kind of mixed in. And realistically, I don't think this is going to go far. A couple of mechs will maybe be taken out. Radar will be taken out. Maybe it'll get as far as this T2 mechs. There are some bricks coming off the front line, so It's going to be a little bit damaging, but not as bad as what happened over here. And those comms, at least 2 of them from Team 1, continue to push. Hatsi and Krazi. We do see Azuros sitting next to the dual comm explosion over there. Tactical missile has been started for Azuros' comm. Did he cancel that? No, he's continuing. Okay. And this facility now under the control of Note is not going to be long for this world by any means. Team 2 is going to have to erect a frontline defense somewhere. And with, yeah, like I said, Hyper 1001 getting dual base, he'll definitely have a little bit more mass in his coffers to help out. But in terms of the total mass, Team 2 is still winning, surprisingly enough, due to the fact that Team 2 has lost a decent amount of mexes on the eastern side. Partially driven by the fact that Carlos was kicked heavily in the shins and in the wallet and the whatnot due to that piercing attack from Note. Great grab by Note, though, but man, that's got to hurt Carlos. Oof. Just that T3 mech's almost done was very, very sad to watch. A couple of sniper bots going after Hatsi's comm. He's not doing too bad. He has 100 hit points a second regen. He's sitting on almost 13,000 hit points now, so he'll be close to about 20,000 here shortly. Of course, Hyper 2001 still has his shield, which is regenning, and he might be going for his heavy shield here shortly. Missile outbound. Again, it's going to poke at more of the mexes and other defenses. That's going to be a dead... No, he's going to go for this. No, he's not going to go for that mex. He's going deep into the core and takes out that T3 mex. Ooh, that's 27 mass a second that Hyper is losing out on. A radar developed by Azuros to get a little bit more view on what's going on. That he could have just taken that mex out with his comm, but decided to shoot it with a missile just to make it a little bit faster. Another missile outbound, and he is pumping those missiles out. There should be some TMD deployed here shortly, which there is. T3 land headquarters, that's a great target. Doesn't have passive regen like the Cyberns do, so it's a little bit less annoying to deal with. But there's TMD built, so that'll deal with the missile from Azuros here nicely and more efficiency. But no, nobody dies before 20 minutes. It is unfortunate, but it does happen in a large percentage of games just because there's 12 players or 10 players or 14 players, and it's just the likelihood is not super high, but it's I wouldn't say 50%, but it's pretty close, I think, to 50%. More of the frontline mixes now for Team 2 being taken out. And Team 1, I can definitely say they have the entire northern section of the map. There is a couple of T3 Titans inbound to go after Team 1 mexes. And again, that's just eating away at more and more eco. Team 2 now is in a deficit in terms of where they were sitting at a couple of moments ago. Team 1 is ahead by almost 200, and that number is growing quite precipitously just due to the fact that Team 2 is losing max after max after max, and Team 1 is not. No damage has really been done to Team 1's core masses or even secondary mexes, only that one attack from Note. But like I said, Team 2's Team 2's Hyper and Note do have 2 bases, so that mass advantage is pretty nice and pretty can be critical to Team 2's advancement, most likely on the western side, which we are seeing to materialize here. But again, that deficit, and it's growing 300 mass a second more for Team 1. That's starting to be very, very bad. And we see a Titan running around. T3 mech should be fine. It's like every second or third shot does hit a mass storage. Lightning tank targeting that on the Otham will take that out. And that's not great for the Titan, but it takes out a mass storage, kills off a couple of mass per second just because it's a mass storage, and that's what they do. Last remaining mechs on the front line for Note has been taken out, and we do see Harmages moving in to at least secure the reclaim at a minimum. Hatsi says secure this. Azuros again pumping out more and more units very far forward. He has some Percy's online. His eco is sitting very well, 300 mass per second. He's really ecoing. He's not putting a lot of emphasis in units, mainly just his comm, but now he's putting them into Percy's, which is really going to keep Team 1 in control of that eastern side for a while. But we see in the west, Team 1's player of Mutso goes up in Note's gun, nano, and T2 comm with assisting forces. That is the first kill for Team 2, and is now a 5v4, still in favor of Team 1. But it is starting to look like it's going to be a north v south game rather than a kind of northwest v southeast game, which kind of tends to happen. One front is better for one team, one front is better for the other team, and that kind of, you know, not yin and yang, but kind of this trading goes on. Laser has been started for Carlos. Very interestingly, he has Nano on board. Maybe he'll switch that out for a teleporter. Maybe he'll just go for cloaking. On a map like this, and I've casted other games recently, I've made this comment before, but Omni can easily lock down Laser and Cloaking. You really need to get Teleporter. Laser and Cloaking really is useful as a more defensive tactic rather than offensive tactic, but in a map like this, you could not necessarily put it in the middle, but you could put it off to the side, and it would grab a huge portion of that eastern side as well, just because it is small enough. We do see Note just continuing to push with this comm. Again, we are in 24-minute territory, which means snipes are very, very possible. We do see Going Laser says, right, guys. Yep, that's what he's going for. Dr. Fuzzy has fallen back. He has no upgrades on his comm. He still has his base over here to the west, which is being ignored because Note is going straight for Ozeros' stuff, really wanting to snipe at Team 1's highest income player. I don't know if he knows that or not 100%, but I mean, that is what's currently happening. Note is actually the most mass-producing player on Team 2, so it's kind of the, you know, the rich attacking the rich kind of thing. Fatboy online for Azeros, and that attack gets petered out immediately. He could swing west, though, and at least go after this position, but we do see Santa Man pushing in, and that will not necessarily kill the entire base off, but really leave it in a not great position here for Dr. Fuzzy. Eastern side, looks like the conflict is very much slowed down a little bit. Team 1 not willing to risk their comms. Definitely don't blame him. Azeros is back here. Krazy's back here, and we see Hatsi all the way back. He's probably going back to the northwestern corner of the map at this point. I wonder if somebody's going to build a nuke in this game. This map kind of makes me think there's going to be a nuke. Mass Fab farms, both in the Mass Storage and Mass Fab, as well as the PGen and Mass Fab configurations. Love to see both. I wouldn't say I have a favorite between the two. This is highly explosive. This is also very volatile, but this is just dead. And this is like, kind of dead. But still not great. But still. Fatboy still not letting up any ground. Team 2 is being pushed back pretty considerably. We do see in the east, Colossus is online. I don't know if that's not the first experimental. I think the first one was the Fatboy. Team 1 does not have one on this eastern side, so that attack will be undeterred. The frontline gains from Team 1 have not necessarily been eradicated, but they are being diminished. But to be fair, an entire player's worth of eco, almost, I don't say almost 2, but at least one of them has been knocked out, so that's a long time, especially with the lead that they've been able to gain in that time. 300 roughly mass per second in favor still for Team 1. Team 2, again, add to 900 for reference. Team 1 has 5 players left, losing only Mutzo. Team 2 has lost Randy and Darth pretty much one after the other. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, because why not at this point, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so very much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. You know, sometimes I have really good videos, sometimes I don't have really good videos. It's just kind of a mixed bag, so hopefully you enjoy this one, and if you did, please let me know, whether it's a comment, whether it's a like, whether it's a sub, whatever the heck it is. Let me know. I really, really do appreciate it. The channel appreciates it, I think, more than anything else, but I do too, of course. We do see Note getting bombarded by Fatboy Fire. We also see Carlos has dropped into the mid-yellows. Looks like some Novaxes were going after him. Another bomb drops, strikes a little bit actually further north than where Carlos was standing, because that's just where the essentially the inertia was going for that bomb, because it was following the pathing of the comm. The eastern side again, battle has dropped down considerably. Lots of sniper bots, and that Colossus has continued to charge forward. It is going to die, but look at this. Look how far forward that Colossus got. Fatboy now online for Azeros in the east, but still lots of gains happened for Team 2. Not necessarily immediate, but They pushed a huge chunk of Team 1's force back, giving them a lot of breathing room. There's actually a couple of T3 mexes online for Hotzi over here. Just trying to get as much mass out of the environment as possible. Western side, Team 2 still being pushed back primarily because of the Fatboy. If it wasn't for this, Team 2 would be probably right in Azuros' base. Well, pretty close to it. Probably would have been pushed back, but Note would have had a lot more damage been inflicted on Team 1 at that point. Some conversation in chat about something. No idea what the GC chicken comments about something. Anyway, house is Hotzi. Again, like I said, I kind of lost what they're memes. Memes. That's what it is. Southeast, nothing really big yet. Like I said, chicken. I heard a strap bomber. Where is it? I thought I heard a strap bomber. Where is it? It's not going after the comm. The comm's under shielding. There is a strap bomber over here, but that's not... I mean, it could be going... Maybe there's like a ASF or a spy plane or something just sitting down on the ground somewhere, and that's what it shot at. Yeah, I don't see anything that would indicate strap bombers yet. No, that's an 800 wreck. That's a brick. Yeah. Anyway. Strap bombers can be distracting. 30 minutes on the clock. Nobody's really thought about how to end the game yet. Telemazer could possibly end the game, but don't think that's really viable right now. Still nothing big. Looks like a couple of mexes were taken out, though. Okay, that's what happened was Team 2 launched a strap bombing attack on Team 1. Hotzi's perfectly fine. He's probably going for a RAS now because he has RAS, Nano, and Splash on board that comm. Got Sand saying Fatty. Yep, there is a Fatty over there to the east. That's the one that killed off that Colossus. Team 2 almost has that chicken online. That's really the only thing else that they can use to defend with so far, at least big items. And then nothing really too big. T2 Air here for Team 2's Western players of note and Sanoman. And looks like Crab is going to be built very far forward. Going to get a shield to protect it. And the engineers, of course, love to see that. And a PGen. So a little bit of double duty there. Is that a missile? That's artillery. Nano and T2. No advanced Nano, but maybe that's what he's building. Yep, that is what he was building. Look at that. It looks like it's just T3 forces and a couple of assisting other T forces inbound. Artillery position being built on this little kind of, I'm going to say outcropping, but kind of an interesting position here. We do see there's a couple of Natha fighter bombers inbound, and they're going to go after the Omni. Nice grab there. I don't think all of the bombers should have gone after the Omni, but they wanted to make sure they confirmed the kill, which is definitely better than not getting the kill at all, so I'll give them that. And the shields were offline just long enough to take the Omni offline. Granted, it's going to be rebuilt quite quickly, but at least they took it off for a couple of moments, so it's better than nothing. ASF from Team 2 holding out over here in the southwestern corner. Northeastern corner, nothing too crazy in terms of ASF stacking up. We do see Carlos pushing in, Note pushing in. We're going to have another T3 battle here. And there's a Fatboy, of course, in the distance. Com pushing in. Laser, of course, is now done for Dr. Fuzzy. And Hotzi making some sort of comment about something. I don't know what he's commenting about, but something big happened for Team 2. No, so I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway. We do see Carlos is pushed back underneath the shield. One skin Crab. No, that's a monkey starter for Carlos. Crab, of course, is being built by Sanoman. That's almost half done. Fatboy still getting some licks into Team 2's army over here. Note taking shots, but essentially regenning most of the damage by the time another shot is inbound. But there's more and more shots consistently coming into range from those bricks, so he's going to be a little bit more careful. Cloaking started for Dr. Fuzzy's comm, so he's going to go cloaking and laser, while Carlos is just sticking at nano and laser. Too Fatty says Dart Sand, and there's a wave of Corsairs inbound, and I wonder, look, one of the Fatboys is dead. Oh, wonder what he's going after. Ooh, P-Gen's not going down. That's not great. Wonder if those shots are going to get in there soon enough. No, they won't, but that's going to be a dead Fatboy anyways. Air fight will happen, and Team 2 got, I think, a pretty good engagement there. But there is a lot of ASF still for Hotzi, and it looks like he'll probably win that fight. Ooh, not great. There is a couple of lightning tanks. That's not great, and there's actually a decent amount of bouncers nearby, so kind of a nice counter AA one way and the other. ASF's around again. Oh, one of them gets sniped out of the air by some guided flak. And looks like it's about tied in air for both teams. Hotzi sitting at 58 and Ryguy's sitting at 63. So yeah, pretty much tied. No real advantage one way or the other. Really, and only advantage would happen is if somebody else on team 1 would get into the air, which looks like it will happen. Carlos is getting into T3. We still see T2 and T2 out of these two players in the West for Team 2. So those Corsairs obviously helped out a lot, taking out a decent chunk of the firepower for Team 1 in the long-range indirect fire nonsense for the Fatboy. And there's T2 artillery being built to try to counter that as we speak later on. Nuke silo construction started here for Carlos. Cloaking done for Fuzzy. So one player going for nukes. One player... Where did he build that thing? Oh, he's starting it, isn't he? He's not actually done with building it. That's what that notification is for. That's right. Where is he building that thing? I thought it said... Yeah, starting nuke silo construction. Yeah, where's... Am I blind? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's just right to the north. Yeah. It just looks like a T2 shield sometimes, so I get confused. But Monkey is done for Team 1, but Crab is done for Team 2. Monkey v Crab fight. Crab's going to win that fight every day of the week, especially at range. In the East, Team 1's back in their position, but there's not a lot of infrastructure here. Just engineers going for reclaim and a couple of easy mexes, so... is it something to really worry about? No. Is it still annoying for Team 2? Absolutely. Currently, mass sitting, again, about the 300 mass per second range. But the percentage of how much mass each team is producing relative to the difference is diminished. Because as time goes on, that difference technically is the same, but the percentage difference is smaller and smaller. So Team 2 isn't, quote-unquote, as far behind as they were before. But they are still behind in terms of the raw numbers. But we do see a nice satellite online. Second one soon to be done here for Azuros. He is UEF. UEFs tend to do that. Is there anything big happening? No. We do see Hyper 2001 is retreating back to even friendlier territory. Nuke launcher has been started by Hyper 2001, so that's going to be something to watch out for. That if it hasn't been spotted now, will be spotted here shortly by Team 1. There is an SMD here for Azuros. It is going to be loaded by the time the nuke is loaded, so that's not a big concern, but there are a couple of players that are vulnerable to a nuke, especially on the front line. So this would be a nice target, taking out Carlos, the Crab being built, maybe trying to leech over into here into Dr. Fuzzy's territory. And this position kind of just been the same for the past couple of minutes. Building a sat is toxic. I'm UEF, nothing I can do. Mavor says hot seat because why not? It's like two options, artillery or laser. Nuke silo is done for hot seat, which means somebody... Oh, here's another one. So one nuke is... Where is it? Oh, it's way up here in the corner. I do love the stealth field generator next to it. Don't like that it's kind of close to a mass fab, but it's not super close. I mean, you could build 4 of them right next to one another, or you could just build one of them and just assist building one of them. Construction is done on Hyper 2001 silo. Of course, that'll build a little bit faster because he's assisting it, and he has PGen supporting it as well. In the West, still nothing is really going to crack that shielding, and the Crab has been doing a lot of damage to the Monkey and kills that off very quickly. Who is on 700 eco, Azuros. I guess there's a lot of just kind of giving each other a hard time once in a while. No one's on 700 eco for Team 2. Team 1's almost at 700 with Hotzi at that number, and then Azuros almost at 550. No pushes in. Will take a lot of damage, but not really because of his advanced nano. Has a chicken to support him. It's Omni on the front line. Love to see that. Crab's online, of course. We do see, it looks like some pings have spotted the crab being built by Dr. Fuzzy. So the crab probably will try to push for that. We do see lots of engineers being killed off before they can get some mass for their families. Very unfortunate, but it is the way that it goes. Sometimes, obviously, pings are going down on the nuke. Team 1's nuke, about the same distance away from being built. Satellite over top. It's going to get a prompt, of course. Hyper doesn't want to build another shield. With 2, it should be fine. With 3, it'll be perfectly fine with 1 satellite. But, of course, the Zeros has a second one now. And now a third one, excuse me. So that's not great for Team 2 long term. Crab is being targeted by Brick Fire and Crab Fire, and soon to be Chicken Fire. Carlos is sitting over here with Nano. Not Nano, sorry. Yeah, Nano. Nano and Gun being a laser. Dr. Fuzzy has Gun and Stealth. But Stealth. Gun and Cloaking. But unfortunately for Dr. Fuzzy, there's an Omni nearby. Unless it was taken out, it should be in range of the comm. At least it should be. And Team 1 will lose. Who was that? Was that Dr. No, this is Dr. Fuzzy. That would have been Carlos is defeated by Sanoman. And then Dr. Fuzzy will go down due to Omni being in range. I thought I clicked on Note. Oh, there's the range. It just kind of blends in with the map. Yeah, that's definitely in range. Unfortunate for Team 1. So that's a nice double kill here. Kind of echoes the double kill we saw earlier. And it is now a 3v4 now in favor of Team 2. Satellites over the top of the air grid for Riot Guys. 1 PGen goes down. Shields are being assisted as we speak. They are ED4s. They could be upgraded to ED5s to be fair. But looks like maybe more shielding is being built, has been built, will be built. Something's being built at some point. Looks like they're ignoring the nuke for now. T3 artillery has been started for a node. He's probably going to build it there. Yep, there it is. Tactical nuke is done for Azuros. Love to see the building nuke. And now the western side here for Team 1 is starting to crumble just like it did on the eastern side for Team 2. Lots of stuff going down. Decent grid of PGens, T3 land headquarters. That's not really going to help out Azuros by any means. Even if it was building units, it's going to delay like 2 seconds. Not really worth the mass cost. Another Fatboy being constructed. Nuke is almost done for Azuros, but he's going to build a crab instead. And a secondary nuke launcher has been built. It's a little over half loaded. And this one is half done. This one was just built recently. Large emphasis in nukes being stockpiled for hot seat, not necessarily trying to fire them as fast as possible. It is nice to have both options, being able to fire them very quickly or have a lot of them to fire all at once. It is nice to have both, but it does look like explosion happens to the north. Was that a Zeros that control Cade? It was a Zeros that control it. Now it's my issue that we had made to... wow, looks like a Zeros was annoyed at Hot Seat for some reason about that comment. No idea if he had to go, if that was the actual reason or not, but I'm not going to delve into that more than I should or want to. But it does leave Team 1 not super great. It's 4v2 now. Team 2 has a 2-to-1 advantage on comms, but Hatsi has control of 1.5k mass income. Lots of mass. Which means, essentially, he could just stop producing the other nuke and just spam load the nukes, and he might be fine here. There is 1 Fatboy online. One of them just got taken offline for him. Chicken is almost dead. So that'll be an Ion Storm right about now. Grab, of course, has to be chewed through. Second Fatboy not being built by Team 1. The satellites, of course, died. The air quotes, because they were transferred over to somebody else, so their actual satellite control Ks and then is rebuilt at the main base. Kind of surprised to not see them actually be shifted over for defense, but I guess with the crab already retreating, it's kind of, I don't say pointless, but it's kind of pointless. Crab's trying to run by on the western side. That's not pathfinding plus artillery, mobile that way, plus although Nathas, yep, Nathas that's not going to go anywhere. We see Team 2 is pushing in on the eastern side. Couple of chickens now done here for Hyper 2001, going after 2 Fatboys built by possibly Krazi, but possibly Azuros, one or the other. Another Fatboy done here for him. So maybe him. He's been producing those. Krazi's underneath some shield coverage, but next to a lot of mass fabs. They're not T3 mass fabs, but still not a good place to stand by any means. Do you see another T3 mechs going down for Hatsi? That lead in terms of mexes, in terms of mass totals, it has shifted a tiny bit in Team 2's direction. Now at 1.9, 1.8 versus 1.7. So Team 2 finally in the lead for mass control, starting artillery for Krazi. Note has been building his, and it's almost done. Looks like Team 1 doesn't like that. So they're using all the satellites against it. He's building his Duke. Not underneath shield coverage, which I don't like. It's not super close to the hives, but I don't know if it allows enough space for the Pigeon to sit here. Maybe it does. But Nuke is outbound. First nuke of the game, speaking of which, and it is going for the Fatboys. Now the question is, will the shot be led enough to kill both of them off? Counter nuke has been launched by Team 1, going after Note's comm. Note is immediately running. He's already been moving for a little bit, so he's kind of just shifting his angle a little bit. Here comes the nuke. Looks like the Fatboys have shifted southward. Will not grab a Fatboy, but it will not help the front line by any means. Kaboom! Actually kills off a couple of aircraft in the air, but that's not really that worrisome. Counter nuke is going to land, and it is going to grab Notes. That's going to hurt. Oh, no, it's going to barely not hit him. Kaboom! So, again, frontline defenses have been taken out, but for both sides of the map, for both teams, not really that worrisome. A little bit more for Team 2, but, again, not by much. And then Note's like, bruh, for the comm, and he's like, yeah. I mean, like I said, to be fair, Team 2 is up 2 comms to Team 1, so killing a comm off, especially the highest rated player, is, at least on Team 2, is definitely a smart move by any means. We do see artillery is now done. It's targeting, I would assume, the air grid for Team 1, and there is a large portion of it unshielded, but there are shields about to be built, so it's going to rectify that mistake quite soon. In the east, the nuke was going to prompt the land attack, but lots of Perseus, lots of Fatboys not going to make that fight very well. Lots of ASF sticking around the artillery emplacement. Ooh, Pigeon's exposed. That's not good. It's going to rip apart the remaining capacity on the... Ooh, it's going to be close. The shield is going to go down. The satellites, they're going after all the Pigeons. The SMD is going to be a target. That's not great. And their shields go back online, but more importantly... Off mapping, says Hatsi. Is he talking about the... Oh, Awasaw bomber that's now built. Ooh, that's going to hit. That's going to hit. That's not going to feel good. Ooh, it's going to hit right in the middle of a couple of Pigeons. And the T3 air headquarters, that is very not great. Would have gone after I think the nukes would have probably been a better choice. But it does kill off a decent chunk of Pigeons. But the ASF are back. Oh, I don't think it's going to have enough time to launch another shot. No, it's not. And not enough momentum to reach any of those nukes. Oh, no, it does grab them nonetheless because that Pigeon. Oh, that's... Ooh, that's got to hurt. Maybe the artillery helped with that? Maybe? Maybe it was an artillery shot. But regardless, that stuff's all gone. So Team 1's Hatsi loses all of his nukes, and I'm going the wrong direction in terms of sim speed. Team 2 still has their artillery piece, but they did lose the SMD, which would be nice if Team 1 still had their nukes. So, yeah, not great. It says, there's a conversation about off-mapping. And Darsen said that crash killed... I mean, the crash wasn't nearby. It was the Pigeon going down is what killed it. Because the crash killed the Pigeon killed the nuke, so I guess you could check. I mean, yeah, you could check the replay if he off-matted. I have no idea. Looks like he hit a blast here. Maybe just because of the wide turn radius, it just went off map for a moment. I don't think that was an on-purpose thing, because units go off the map all the time just because of the way that the pathing works. It can be deliberate. I have seen that, but I don't think this was deliberate. I don't think it was delivered by any means. But again, I don't know 100%. So don't quote me. Don't at me. I made a joke and you react. Again, I'm not not getting into it. Nope, nope, nope. But Team 2 is in the driver's seat now. They have an artillery piece. They have a nuke. Team 1 has soon-to-be artillery, which, actually, speaking of which, it is done. Look at that. Team 3 is done, going for shield immediately. Love to see that. Wish there was a shield there first. But tomato, potato at that point. The point is the artillery is built, and it is now shielded, so there's that. Oh, I thought there was some bubble shields, but no, there's just Rascoms running around. Eastern side, 3 Fatboys. This is kind of dangerous. It's not critical mass, but it's starting to be. There are no shields, which means Krause does not have the power. He's building more shields. That's not going to help his power consumption by any means. Definitely should get that rectified sooner rather than later. Sanoman was building an artillery piece. Now Team 2 has 2 of them. There it is over there. So 2 to 1. Of course, there's the nuke advantage so far. And there's another nuke, so there's a separate nuke launcher away from this one. Love to see that, spreading that out a little bit. Nuke is ready to fire. Shields are starting to go down on Azuros' old base. Nuke is outbound. It's going to strike this position. The Fatboys are going to fall back immediately. And actually, it looks like this one's going to go west, and this one's going to go northeast, and this one's going to go southeast. So it looks like they're all going to spread out. Love the move, just so that not all of them die, but at least one is going to die. We'll see. It's going to be roughly in the same spot as the first one was, but no, just barely. Man, what is it with stuff just barely being out of range with nukes? But perfectly placed there by Krause to just be barely enough out of there. But artillery puncturing the shields. 2 of the emitters are down. Ooh, that artillery hit a little bit off to the west. Not great for the artillery. Ooh, that one hits almost the SMD. Shields come back online, but it's going to be a tall order to crack the shielding. We do see some Nothas inbound, most likely going for the nuke, but it gets denied by the Corsairs and the ASFs from Rye Guys. Looks like the artillery is targeting the one from Nope. And to be fair, it is severely damaged. Nuke is outbound. Once again, it's really trying to kill those Fatboys off. That is just not helping. It looks like all of them go this way. That nuke's going to hit nothing at this point. And the artillery... Oh, almost kills off the pigeons. That's very dangerous. Might as well just try to reclaim them at that point. Because if one goes down, they are all dead. And there goes the nuke. Kaboom. Doesn't really kill anything off. And there's a lot of artillery built in the meantime. So, yeah. Kind of good luck in that scenario. Is he trying to rebuild a nuke? No. Oh, but he is. But he is building a Yolana Oz, so that's a thing. And maybe Team 2 has spotted that now? No, they don't know. They just know a lot of engineers are over there. Ooh. That's a lot of support. It might be that if the Yolo is built, that could be enough to bring Team 1 back in this game. But once the artillery is down over here, the air grid's going to be the next logical target. So if the artillery stays on long enough and the Yolo gets maybe 2 or 3 missiles out, that would probably be enough. Because this SMD was killed off and it's not even loaded. There is an SMD over here, but it's way far off to the west, so you could essentially ignore that one. The main focus is this artillery, the nukes, and the air grid. Yeah, there's one artillery over here, to be fair. But also, to be fair, there is a second one being built. I did not see that one till now. So, scratch that. Maybe that Yolo missile should target this. But the SMD, to be fair, can't shield or doesn't shield both of them. So, you could edge nuke it, land it right here, kill everything off. Maybe even get the comm while you're at it. There's going to be a little bit not great here. Artillery still holding on. Nuke is, or Yolo, Super Nuke, about to finish building. Yolo will finish this hot scene. Yolo 90% says Randy, so it does look like Team 2 is aware of it. And I'm assuming the third artillery piece from Note is going to yup. It's going to immediately change targets. And it already has to go after that. Shielding is being assisted, so that is helping. The Yolo will finish, just like Hatsi said. Will it fire? Maybe. There is a nuke almost loaded. Nuke about third, almost half loaded. There is an SMD back here. It has 4 loaded. This SMD's been alive for a little bit. It will have 4 loaded. So it might be that the Yolo wins the game for Team 1. Again, like I said, if it lasts long enough. Now, this artillery is helping, but now that the cat's out of the bag, essentially, there's 3 artillery pieces online for Team 2. So that is a thing. Doesn't look like the attack on the eastern side is going to happen anytime soon. There's a lot of T2 artillery here, so I love the play, but it's just not going to be enough. What the FAF? Looks like the Fatboys have actually just retreated back to base. They're covering the western front in case of a land attack. And that Yolo is going to fire at least one, I think. The shielding is holding. There's a lot of engineers here. They almost need a telemaser at this point. There's a little bit of cracking going down up here, but Hatsi's pool, nothing. Oh, that side loses some P-gens. That's not good. He's going to say he had a lot of excess, but he doesn't have a lot of excess anymore. Yolo's going to fire. You got to fire that thing immediately. There's no offense or buts about that thing. And where is it going? It's going for the first artillery piece. Good play there. The second one's being built there. Artillery is going to be reclaimed. SMD isn't even loaded. That'll be a Yolo missile fired. It's been a little bit since I've seen one, so it'll be nice to see it. P-Gen. Oh, that's not great. Has the power situation for Hatsi. Oh, not good. Oh, not good. Shields are down. SACU. Not SACU. That's a ACU teleporting in. That would be either Sandman or Rye, guys. No, it's Note. Apologies. He has gun, splash, and teleporter. He's going after the Yolo, and he's gonna get it. There's a lot of T1 PD being built. It's not gonna matter. There he goes. He dies. The Yolo dies, and I think that's the end of the game here. Kaboom! Does take out the artillery that was being built and the artillery that was built. My base is not as good as Yolo. Definitely don't blame him. No you, no you. No you. Just, no you. But anyway, it's just not... There's not that much left now for Team 1. Hatsi gives everything over to Krazi, and he control Ks, leaving Krazi alone, which at this point... He's like, where's my base? It's like, it's gone. That's what happened to it. Big nuke. Yeah, big nuke. Yep. Rebuild mech says Note. Yeah, rebuild that one mech right there. And like I said, there's really nothing. I mean, there's a couple of satellites. There's his artillery piece that's still here. He's getting 2 more, or soon to build 2 more, building some SMDs to protect it. But, oh, that's a good point. He doesn't have an SMD loaded. And a Yolo is not Yolo, but a regular Seraphim nuke is about to fire. But it's going to go over here instead. The SMD over here is loaded. And actually isn't even in range. I don't think you could have edge nuked that one. Oh, no, he definitely could have. He definitely could have edge nuked that one. Never mind. So, it looks like the artillery pieces from Sandman are more than enough. Crack the shielding, kill everything off. No artillery here for Team 1. There's still some Fatboys on. Wow, there's actually 5 of them online. Krazi control Ks. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of mass in terms of, critical mass for Fatboys, but it's not assaulting a frontline base. It's not even assaulting a main base or anything. So if they were over here, different story, but they're not. They're way over here, and that's a lot of territory, a lot of time for Team 2 to prepare. So, yeah, definitely the best idea would just be throwing the town now and be done with it. But let me know down in the comments what you felt about the match. Great game overall. At least I enjoyed playing it. A little bit of salt. Definitely nice to have in your game. Not too much, but just enough. Nice little flavoring in there. MVP for me, I mean... Note did a very good job. That first attack that went in, killed off a decent amount of mexes on the western side here for Carlos, kind of kicked him out of the game for a while. On the eastern side, we had Hot Seat getting that double kill on 2 of Team 2's players. That was a great grab there, and then Team 2 followed that up with their own kind of double kill. Granted, the Omni was nearby, so it kind of got it. Not a free kill on, I think it was Dr. Fuzzy, I think, went for the cloaking, but it just wasn't as good as it probably could have been just because of that Omni being far forward as it was. But I do think not having the Yolo online for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, probably was enough to save Team 2 from this game, because you had an SMD here, which was 4 loaded, so that was 2 Yolo missiles. There's this one over here, which has 3, so that's another 1. And then there's another one over here, so you could argue maybe 4 or 5 Yolos would have been knocked out of the sky, but that would have been enough. If this entire western side was targeted first, the only thing Team 2 has is nukes, and Team 1 has enough SMDs. So, yeah, I think the Yolo being killed off by Noke's commander going for the suicide play, I think really is what saved Team 2 at the very end. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with that. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one.